Accounting department is pretty.
Lee! The Davis Group just rejected their new brochure. Look at that. How in the world can you let it go out like that?
Yeah. I keep trying to tell you, we're going to have these kinds of problems because there's no infrared dryer on this press. If you want the stuff that quickly, then...
Don't start with that. If the press was the problem, then all of your jobs would be wrong now, wouldn't they?
Right. But with no dryer, you need to give me more time before the sheets are handled.
Then how come everyone else's work's okay? And look at this mess. There's trash everywhere. How in the world can you work like this? You know what? Just get this place straightened up. Let's not have any more mistakes like this. We can't afford it.
All right, I'm okay with cooperates with other team members to achieve results, so I'll mark you as meet standards for that one, Lee.
Thanks.
Which brings us to the tricky one. Completes all work on time and the quality required.
Why is that tricky?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to mark you as fails to meet standards on that one, Lee.
What for? My work's been okay.
Not really.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Well, there's your work area for a start. It looks like a dumpster. It's a disaster area.
You never said anything.
I think I did. I'm always telling you to get your area cleaned up. And then there's all the mistakes you've been making.
What mistakes?
What mistakes? The Davis Group's brochure, for starters.
That's one. What else?
If that's not bad enough, you're always missing deadlines.
When did I miss a deadline?
Look, I'm not going to sit here and quote you chapter and verse on all the jobs you've messed up. The point is, we both know your work isn't up to par. So I can't sit here and say, yes, he meets the standards, can I? I mean, honestly, can I? Look, just get yourself organized, pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, just try harder, and let's see if you can do better during the coming year, all right?
Hey, Carl. If you've got a minute, I need to discuss a concern I have with you.
Okay.
It's about Lee.
Oh, no. What's he done wrong now?
Oh, nothing. Just he came to see me yesterday, and, well, he's not very happy.
Not happy? What's he not happy about?
The feedback you gave him at his performance appraisal. He just doesn't accept that he's failing to meet the standard we set.
Well, then he should have said so. I mean, he signed the appraisal form. It's too late to change his mind now.
Well, he's not happy. And I read your notes on the appraisal. You were pretty harsh with him, Carl.
Well, somebody's got to tell him that his work stinks. And he's been unreliable.
Well, did you discuss that with him? I mean, ways to improve his performance?
Yeah, I told him. Don't think it's going to make any difference, though.
Is he capable of delivering the performance that you want?
You know, I don't know. If he is, he really hasn't shown it. Okay, maybe he could be a good worker, but I don't like his attitude.
But don't you think we should at least try to turn his performance around?
Well, I thought I did. What do you want me to do?
Look, let's talk somewhere where it's more comfortable. Why don't you come on to my office? Carl, when you give someone feedback, what are you really trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to let him know what I think about him, I guess.
Why?
Well, so they'll start working better?
That's exactly right. The whole point of feedback is to improve someone's performance. There's no purpose in doing it otherwise.
No, I guess not.
So everything you say and everything you do when you're giving feedback needs to be done with that in mind. If what you say is not going to help someone improve their performance, then you shouldn't say it. Let me ask you this. What do you think the effect of your feedback is going to be on Lee?
Knowing Lee, he'll just dig in his heels and get worse. What should I have done?
I always use a structure called CEDAR to help me in feedback discussions. C, to clarify the performance I expect to see. E, to explain how I think the person is actually performing. D, to discuss the reasons for the difference between the two. A, to agree on steps to fix the problem. And R, to review the outcomes. C, E, D, A, R, CEDAR. Now, to start with, you need to clarify what you expect from the person. Remember when you and I were both so worried about Kanae not completing all her tasks?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. She's doing great now, but for a while she had a real challenge getting to those customer follow-up calls.
That's right, until I gave her feedback. Kanae, what I'd like to do is discuss a concern I have about your performance.
Okay.
Let me tell you what's worrying me, and then I'd like to hear your take on it, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Now, what I was expecting you to do was to call all of our customers after we completed their jobs to make sure they were happy with our work. But what I'm actually seeing is that you're talking to about maybe 1 in 3. Is that how you see it? That's what I mean about clarify the performance I expect and explain how I think they're actually performing. I told her what I had expected to see and what I was actually seeing, and then asked her if she agreed with me.
Well, why'd you do that?
To make sure that we were both in agreement on the facts. See, if you don't first agree on the facts, you'll never make any progress. Now, once I'd told her what I was concerned about, then I needed to hear what she had to say about it. That's the D of CEDAR. Discuss the differences between what you want to see and what you are seeing. Maybe 1 in 3. Is that how you see it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not calling every customer, but that's because of all the other stuff I have to do each day. There's just not enough time.
So what's stopping you from making the calls?
All the admin work, I guess.
All right, can you remind me, please, of the other things you have to do?
Sure. I handle all the prep work for the sales team, their appointments and their travel arrangements.
Well, that's certainly important. And it takes what, about half your time?
About that, yes.
Okay. What else?
And then there's the sales quotes, emailing the quotes out, filing the documents.
And that takes up what?
Maybe another couple of hours a day.
Leaving a couple of hours each day for making the calls.
Well, no, then there's the website to do.
With the website? I didn't know you were involved with that. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, after Jennifer left, there was no one doing the daily updates. So the sales team asked if I would do them, and I've done them ever since.
So then I was getting the whole picture. She wasn't just being lazy. She simply didn't have time to do what I wanted.
Wow, you treated her pretty well during that process.
And that is so important, Carl. If you are not courteous, if you're not respectful, you run the risk of making people defensive and hostile. Remember, you need them on your side to solve the problem. The whole point of this is to solve performance problems, not create conflict. Now, once I understood the problem, then we had to agree on what we were going to do about it. Okay, let's see if we agree on the problem. I need for you to call the customers after we complete their work, and you can't make the calls because of the other things that you have to do. Is that how you see it?
That's right.
So how are we going to resolve this?
Could we get someone to help me? Someone to help take a little of the admin work off me?
Well, that would be nice. Unfortunately, we really can't justify that right this minute. Is there something you could stop doing to make time for the calls?
Well, I can't stop the support for the sales team.
No, we got to keep that going.
And all the emails and the sales quotes, well, they all need to get done. I could stop filing for a day or so, but not indefinitely.
What about the website?
I guess I could stop that, but that means the daily updates wouldn't get done.
Okay, and what would be the effect of that?
Well, I'm not sure if there's actually any effect. The sales team just like for the website to look different each day. It keeps it fresh.
Well, that's a nice luxury to have. But do you think it's as important as calling the customers?
No, not really.
What if you made all your calls first and then refreshed the website on days when you had extra time left over? We talked to the sales team about that.
Okay, but that really wasn't a performance problem, was it? That was more a misunderstanding about what you wanted.
You're right. But you know, so many performance problems are simply misunderstandings about what you want. And that's why clarifying the performance you expect is so important. Now, finally, we had to review the outcome. Now, it's very easy just to leave things there and think you've solved the problem. But until you review the outcome, you can't be sure.